for Ira. He's a good host. Give him a round of applause, guys. So hello guys, my name is Hampus Malmgren and I prefer to buy my clothes at H&M since they have my initials. His Majesty. Or as my ex-girlfriend said, HIV man. But I try to be positive. I'm 28 years old. Many people tend to be very surprised by that since I look so much older. One time when I said that joke, an old woman appeared to me in the audience like, haha, you look like 12. And that was the last time I ever did stand-up with my mom in the audience. So we are tonight in lovely Copenhagen. Do you still have the energy, guys? Yeah, nice. I love Copenhagen. I reckon we have some different nationalities tonight. Me, I'm from Sweden. I genuinely thought I was going to get a negative reaction from that. I thought that I was going to be like Charlie Kirk by now. But no. But Hampus, that's a very, very weird name. You and me come from Sweden. You probably think that I have more of a common Swedish name, like Ahmed or Mohammed. But no, my name is Hampus. How many are from Copenhagen? Can you make some noise? Yeah, that's a lot of you. How many are not from Copenhagen? Can you make some noise? You guys are warmly welcome. How many are from Norway? Can you make some noise? Good. Those guys are not as welcome. I'm from the south of Sweden, but I moved to Stockholm a few years ago, and I learned that Stockholm claims themselves to be the capital of Scandinavia. Have you heard this? Yes. Yeah? And you know, that sounds very fancy-schmancy, capital of Scandinavia. But you know, being the capital of Scandinavia, that's like being the smartest person in a home school. Or the smartest person in Norway. Depends. I don't really think it's the capital of Scandinavia. I think it's a bit unfair. It shouldn't be that hard finding an apartment in the capital of Scandinavia, right? I need to couch surf at strangers' apartments. Strangers like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, Greta Thunberg. And you decide who is the worst. Who is the worst? But you know, you get a bit of a perspective. You get perspective on society. Like, think of all the less fortunate people in the world, how they are living. I think of all the people living in Finland. We can all give them a thought. But I find an apartment in the suburbs of Stockholm. I really thought I could fit in the ghetto there, but... Have you been in the suburbs of Stockholm, guys? Yes, you have? Alvik, that's... Good for you. You know, you look like Alvik. You like the definition of Alvik. No, but, what's your name? Albert. A big applause for Albert. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Albert. Yeah. I lived in a suburb called Rinkeby. Have you heard of it, Albert? Yeah, you have. On the news, maybe. But it's actually very beautiful in Rinkeby, you know. I used to bicycle around in Rinkeby as fast as I could. I didn't want them to take my bike while I was riding it. I've seen what they've done with the police cars out there. Then you can just imagine what they will do to my bicycle support wheels. That would be embarrassing. It would really be embarrassing. But they really seem to like me in the Stockholm suburbs because every time I come home in the evenings, they shoot a salute. Pang, pang! And when I first moved there, I thought that this place is only filled with marijuana, cocaine, amphetamine, but that is not true. They also have crack. Yeah, I really support it. But the best thing about the Stockholm suburbs, like Alvik, for example, Albert, or Rinkeby, is that is the only place in Sweden where people is not, you know, introvert. And that, I really like that. I have a very good relation with my neighbors. I have one neighbor, I used to joke around with him, you know. He says to me, hey, hey, and I joke back like, nay, nay. And then he jokes back and shoots me in the leg. I'm very sorry. I really hope that you don't think that I'm like a bad boy comedian. Because that is probably what you are thinking now, that guy who looks like Ed Sheeran with a lesbian haircut, he's an alpha male. One who I want to bring you to every gig I have. What's your name?
Ramon.
Ramon, Mexico, give it an applause. Ramon, thank you. Thank you for coming here. One who is an alpha male, though, or alpha female, is my mother. My mother, or her real name, Mom. Or Eva Braun. It depends if she's here tonight. I'm kidding, she would never come. My favorite song by ABBA, thank you for asking, Ramon. My favorite song by ABBA is Mamma Mia, because my mother's name is actually Mia. Oh! Oh! Yes, I know, very cute. But the fun thing about it is that is Ira's favorite ABBA song as well, for the same reason. He really likes my mother. Now he is embarrassed. Don't tell them, Hampus. Okay, Dad, okay. If he was my dad, he has already been left, right? Or leaving. No, but my mother, she's actually in Sweden. She's known for being, you know, the Swedish version of Chuck Norris. Ooh. I know. The rumor has it that Hampus' mother, she's so tough that she doesn't own a Satisfyer Pro. She uses a food blender. And to the women in the audience, to the women, you're probably thinking like, oh, Hump, that's very tough, right? Yeah? And to the men in the audience, come on, you're probably thinking, oh, that is disgusting. And yes, it was. But I'm not as tough as my mother. And one time she told me that, oh, but Hampus, that is because you're such a school nerd. And I was like, but Mom, I'm not that very good of a student. Why do you say that? And she said, no, but it looks like you are. Isn't that like the last quality you want as a school nerd, to have their appearance? She's basically telling me, oh, Hampus, you're not smart, you're not hardworking, you're just ugly as shit. Right? So it would be the same, Albert, if I turned myself to you and tell you, like, oh, you remind me of Leonardo DiCaprio. You'd be happy, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but you're probably thinking, like, oh, is it because he's handsome? Is it because I have a passion for the environment? But then I go, no, it's because you remind me of him in Gilbert Grape. Same thing. Same thing. But I try to be a good guy. I really do, as you can hear. But people tend to walk all over me. I don't know why. Like, for an example, how come that when other people is giving compliment for other people's facial hair, they get happy, but when I do the same to my neighbor, I get slapped in the face by her.
Always the same one.
Always the same neighbor. Or what? It's always you, Albert. It's always you. You and your mother. Please leave my building in Rinkeby, Albert. I like you. I really do, Albert. And the worst thing is with Greta Thunberg. How come that when Greta Thunberg is going to a place where everybody is bombing, she's brave? But when I do it, I'm a bad comedian. That was my time, guys. I really like you guys in Copenhagen. Thank you for watching.